Alright, let's have a look at this one. Okay, alright, we're still defaulting to this. And then even worse, we're gonna default to this. I thought we were past this. This was a week 1 thing, and we're still doing it. Boost got picked up, boost, back into the play. Boost, back into the play. You were gonna go all the way over there. Stop doing it. It's not necessary whatsoever. We finally gave up, and now after we figured out it took so long, we're gonna pick up some pets. What are we doing here, Jason? Like, we're doing again week 1 things. We're going back into the play, rotate out, bet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plenty of boost. A lot of time you just flip here, you got boost. Okay, it's gonna get awkward here because you do this. So it's just a week 1 mistake, a week 2 mistake. You should not be making these mistakes anymore. And then no one is here over at this side anymore because you went both sides. And then we move, of course, together to the same side because we didn't spread out initially. Okay, at least before is good. We're back into the plate, and we have good speed. Okay, back off. Okay. Ninja's here challenging. Where's the second man? Let's go back. Good force. Show the boost. And we're gonna go back all the way. Oh, just look at this. This is not how we can keep any pressure. Bet. Everywhere, every single small bet is almost still on the field. But we still went back and left Ninja on his own. Luckily the force was good enough that it came back to you, but like, this should be the force to the third man, and there should be a second man here. There was just no one in this whole area after this play. Like, that cannot be happening. So now we're in defense. Like, why are we driving our own net here? Like, Ninjas should just force. You wait, but don't drive away. Like, you're now seeing this. You're looking at the post. That's all you're seeing right now. That's now how we're gonna be able to interact with the play, react to the play, out of the play, made a play. No one is next. No second man again. Where's the second man here? Okay. This guy was so you still beat him, but if he plays a little bit better, you just beat him. He goes over you, and he has a solo play if he has 100 boost, which will happen in some of these replays, and that's because there was no second man again. Mid play, you got 100 boost. The ball is gonna go this way. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go this way as well? No, what we do is go the other way. Your teammates are moving that direction. You should be moving the opposite. There is where you need to go, not there. this rotation is so optimal. Like, look what you're looking right now. You cannot react to anything that's happening in the planes because you did this rotation. If you did this, you come back. You're automatically in a way where you can bump some people. If they're waiting here for a pass, you can bump them away. Once you rotate, you're actually looking at potentially this. And this is where the ball is going to go next. Again, where's the second man in this play? Like, one in this corner, one completely over there. There's like no follow-up potential anymore. How did this happen? Boost. Them again having a very slow play, but if they control the play better and transition much quicker, you guys are just gonna be so awkward all the time. This wasn't even a bad challenge still. It almost became very awkward. Control. Yeah, remember this, we're not on the same page here. Like, Ninja, you can't go for the down here. Like, and the reason why is you're at this point behind Gay, and the moment this guy goes up, either he's gonna beat Gay, and then if you push up too much, Jason will already be beaten. He needs to go away. So all Gay needs to do is not get dunked really hard here, and you guys just need to make sure that you can follow up if he gets a 50. All Gay needs to do is like make sure he gets a decent 50 with this guy, and the bump here was like it wasn't there anymore in my opinion. So I would say if someone bumps here, it would be Jason in this case, not Ninja, because of what I said. You should be following a little bit slower, because if this ball is likely gonna go, if it's 50s, it goes into this area, so you need to be able to follow it up, and Jason won't be able to follow up either way. So that's why you should not be the one demoing here. Yeah. This should have always ended in goal. Okay, the whole sequence of defense here. Get out of this. I don't like this gamble. This at this point is gambling because Jason is barely out of it, and you go for this boost. If he gets a bet 50, then you just isolate it for a little bit longer. So a bump on him or whatever, it's gonna be very awkward very quickly. He, because you leave, he actually cannot force anything at this point anymore, which is what he's gonna do. Where he's not knowing what actually is happening, and then yeah, this situation happens, and then you miss the boost apparently again. Like, please, if you miss it, just flip back and use these boost bets at least. But this was not the right move to go for the boost there at that point. You just need to bunker down for like a second and have a big clear, and then you can get some boost again. This was again avoidable. Yeah. If you just stay in the play there, then Ninja, all he needs to do is after this ball is just force a bad touch or whatever, and then yeah, you go next. But taking the gamble of taking the boost there, it's like I said, it's just a gamble. And at 0-0, I don't like the gamble. All you need to do is read this ball and hit it super hard against the backboard. This is you can position yourself to get a big clear here. But you drove like this. You should have gone a little bit wider and then hit the ball. Yeah, you misread this, but like that's easily avoidable if we go back like 1 sec. Look at all this boost. The challenge has not happened. You're already generating a lot of forward speed. Now the ball comes hard to you and you've already gained all the speed. And now you're kind of close already. So if you had paced yourself a little bit better, you would have been a little bit slower in your approach. Then you can boost towards the ball. Now you boost it. Had to slow down and then read the ball and make it very awkward. Like, if the challenge has not happened yet, you can just move forward, pick up some bets, and then react to it when the thing has happened. You just, yeah, you moved up a little bit too quick and then completely, yeah, misread how you needed to approach this ball. But like, if you hit this hard and Jason can follow it up with like 2-3 bets, I don't know, I'm not gonna go back to see where you could have taken some more bets, but like, it's gonna be very awkward for Nikira. This guy's out of the play, this guy's out of the play, so all Jason needs to have is a beat on the next guy, and then this is gonna get very dangerous pretty quickly. But like, this is a very big opportunity that you missed because you boosted up too soon and up the field. To me, you already made the decision here that you're going. It's either a 50-50 here. I'm fine with both going, but you already made the decision before you saw what Jason was gonna do and already going towards this wall. You could as well just stayed in this area, see how he landed if he stayed on it, and then challenge the ball because Jason needs to go in this corner, which is always slow, and you had boost enough to challenge him, but you already decided to go close and make a challenge. In this case, I likely prefer if Jason lands properly and just make SB and Jason make a touch. So if you're here, he gets a touch to you, and then you can do something with boost. If you force, Ninja's not there yet, Jason is out of the play, so you're gonna hit Duncan maybe, and the ball goes over there, and there's no pressure or threat from them. If Jason makes a touch and the ball just comes like that, and you're over here, you have a potential shot you can control. You can update SPN Jason again, keep it in the corner, and then but by that time, Ninja is back. That's kind of the thing you want to do in this corner instead of yeah, and that's why Jason is probably the preferred person to stay on the play so he can make the force. This, however, is not really what I mind in terms of making a force, because the Kira is now just getting a free clear basically, which is what you want to avoid. And then Ninja just has to go, and we're awkward here again, turning to our own corner. There is decent, but what I would do is, like, you pick well the bet, that's good. I would not go for this ball. I would let K go for this in the corner and do this rotation. Let K go, and then instead of you going, because if you have a bad touch, Jason, what's gonna happen is you push it back into the middle, which is where they are. It's less likely to happen if this bounce is bad. K can push it into the corner out more easily. If you're going like this, you're pushing it back into the midfield. So K going is probably safer overall. Then this gets really scrappy. I don't like this challenge from Ninja here. Let's go as POV. Like, when you're going like this, you were already beaten basically. Everything Altruva needs to do is put it next pass to you. That's really easy. And you fully commit of going out of play with this much speed. Like, you're gonna end up there with a bump or whatever. And if SPN Jason gets touched next, then you're out of the play, Jason is out of the play, and then it might be a 2v1 on K, and that's not the most optimal thing. Jason was either way gonna land on this ball somewhere. So yeah, all we're saying is you're perfectly covering everything here. All you need to do is force K to go and follow up the play. And then you're in a position where you're looking basically and covering this whole area. If K is over here, he's just gonna be awkward with a potential touch. So let him force there instead of you going all the way over there. Don't pre-jump. Just don't do it. There was nothing to pre-jump yet. If you stay on the ground and Jason has another hit, you can then go up, but I don't know why you're trying to pre-jump this. Because we decided to stay on this side of the field instead of doing this. Jason, we're gonna be in this awkward situation in a second. Because now we're already in this corner and we can't drive from there to there. So this read is bad. Just get there in time, but this ball can go middle if this guy is boost or whatever. It's likely a goal. Okay, so takeaways from this game. We still do not have the tendency, or the right word, the tendency, I guess, to do this movement after we made a play and go the opposite direction of where the play is gonna go, or the opposite of where my players and teammates are. What we're still doing is staying too much ball side, going for the closest big bet, or yeah, most of the time it's just influenced by where the closest big bet is. That's the thing I saw the most. It's like going away from the play. That's still a prevalent thing in this one. Picking up small bets, still a thing that can be improved. And besides that, not too much happened in this game. You just made like some small mistakes, but honestly, it's mostly the rotation thing of going away from the play, picking up the small bets, staying in the play, and having the second man pressure there, because the second man is just way too often so far away from the play. And when you have no second man, you have to use a lot of boost a lot of the time that you just grabbed to close that gap, and then to make a challenge that you might miss or hit, depending on mostly how much control they have of the ball. So what you do is, or the outcome is mostly on the opponent and on your own, which is not what you want. You want to have control over the challenge and over the result of your challenge, and not hoping that they don't have boost or that they take a smart 50 and whatever. So we need to further work on the second man positioning and being close enough to pressure the guy on the ball from the opponents.